We're now recording. So, hello everybody. Welcome to a MerlinCast. I've got a classic guest here with me. This is the anime hero. Some of you have probably seen him before. He reviews anime so that you can enjoy it. So that I can enjoy it, and among other things. You're kind of stretching out your interest a lot, right, hero?
Somewhat. Lately, anime hasn't been doing it for me.
I mean, I know that's still like the catchphrase. I feel like, but you kind of play
Oh,
with it
that.
sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because there are times where if I'm talking about news, I'll be like, I talk about the news so you can know about it, or I read the manga. I talk about the manga so you can read it. And sometimes I talk about toys. I don't know,
Yeah.
those categories.
It's all over the place. But as you know, I feel like, well, okay. First of all, I mean, you and I stay, I guess, kind of in contact more than I have with some people lately. But I don't know how you been holding up with things as they've been lately. I don't know.
Does that apply to YouTube or real life?
Both, honestly, like either or.
YouTube has been sort of like in this void for a while. For some reason, I just don't feel the right energy, and
Hmm.
whenever I write, I'm not exactly happy with the outcome.
Okay.
I've been trying to change that because, as we talked about earlier, I was focusing more on the stories that I'm working on
Hmm.
rather than the YouTube videos that I could be making.
Hmm. And that's just kind of been where your energy's been more focused.
I guess so. A lot of my viewing stuff has been non-anime, as mainly comes down to American shows such as Star Trek or Star Trek: The Next Generation, and they haven't given me ideas, so it has been helpful. And I guess I really needed to break out of the mold for anime because it's been sort of in this stale position for a bit.
Could you elaborate on that? I'd love to hear more.
Well, there's these shows that I want to see, but they're just not in the market.
What do you mean? Like there's
For
not available?
example, the I've been wanting a Fist of North Star reboot, and that
Uh,
still hasn't happened. It's pretty close to the 40th anniversary by now. And I'm
yeah.
thinking, are they waiting for that, or is just that it's just not gonna happen? I don't know.
No, we were talking about that a little before recording, and yeah, man, I that's one thing that surprised me. I mean, it's such like I don't know. Do you think it's one of those things where like we're just exposed to things at the right time? Because I remember when I was younger and first getting into anime, like Fist of the North Star was like kind of held up as like this legendary kind of classic, like at least that first movie release. But I feel like, on YouTube and on here online, like a lot of people know about it, but no one's actually watched it. Like, where's the disconnect with some of those things?
My only guess is that it's the age of the show or the aspect that it's in 4:3 ratio.
Really, the ratio,
Well,
aspect ratio?
maybe, yeah, because I would assume that would be a problem because if you think about it, look at Dragon Ball Z, how it's released today. It's
Hmm.
not released in 4:3 in any of the official formats. It's been cropped to 16:9.
Which, and I feel like being somebody that appreciates film, I should, know more about cameras and I got to learn more. So, like, does the how people really do get like up in arms and angry when like something is changed from the original aspect ratio? Like, is that because things are cut off? Like, I would think if you're going to film or you're going to draw a panel and then like film it, wouldn't you want to have the whole picture in the frame with whatever like method you produce? Like, why would they have it in aspect ratio that cuts off certain things? I don't understand that. Like, I really
Uh,
don't.
Part of the reason is that they try to fill up the screen because if you think about it, a lot of movies have very odd aspect ratios.
Hmm.
Because depending if you're streaming it or if you have it on Blu-ray or DVD format, sometimes it'll fill up the full screen. Other times it will just be in the middle. Because if you look at the movie Short Circuit, that is like not 16:9 at all. It's sort of like this weird rectangle, like
Huh.
really tiny in there.
Interesting. I guess it's one of the, all right, okay. Like I feel like some film elitists, all right. Okay, Hero, how do you feel about widescreen?
It's fine. I mean, it's the current standard.
Okay, it's the current standard. But remember like back in the day, a lot of DVDs had the option of like widescreen or full screen.
Hmm.
Like I guess the way that is shown off, widescreen does show more of what's in the actual frame. I mean, it's fine, but I find if I had a choice, I typically would go full screen because I do like to have the whole screen filled.
Well,
Um,
that depends on the TV, actually.
really.
Yeah, because back then, remember, our TVs were square.
That is true. Now they're all rectangular.
Yeah, because that's part of the reason why the aspect ratio kind of changed. Because at first I thought it was just because of movie theaters, but I'm starting to think it's because of the way our laptops and computers, monitors, and our TV screens are. Because now we have the plasma HD,
Hmm.
that
Interesting.
very thin TV, and back then all we have are these boxes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I sometimes I get kind of nostalgic about some of the old boxes. I like the old TVs, but you're right. I never. That is weird. I never would have thought that the actual shape of the TV might affect the way the film was presented. Hmm. And I guess all the
Yeah.
digital enhancements. But all right, Hero. I guess that kind of gets into that. I see how that trailed off. First of all, first point. It took like what 3 minutes or something to mention Dragon Ball. So
All
that's
depends because I apologize if you can hear like my dogs because they
oh
were fine earlier
no,
and
it's
now they just detected something.
dude, it's fine. It's there's always something like the last two podcasts I did, like they went on a long time, and I had to get up and go away for a minute because I had to get some soup or something. So
Mm.
both times I got up, I had Dead and Zorro kind of just talk for a while, like to keep the air from being dead. So it's okay if things come up. I don't like the thing is I'm glad we're doing it at the time we're doing it now because if we were doing it in the middle of the day, I'm right next to the window, so I'd get all kinds of sounds. You might hear lawnmowers, you might hear
Mm.
like cars going by. I mean, it's very common.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if this will do anything.
Oh, you're gonna yeah, that might help a little. Might narrow the sound. He's pulling out the headset. Yeah.
See if it can play.
All right, now we're gonna get some weird audio shifting probably when it readjusts. But yeah, I've been liking Zoom so far. It's been working pretty well for things. We had a we had a bit of issues with Zoros for some reason, kind of cutting in and out, like he was freezing for a bit. But as I suspected, Hero, yours has probably been the best signal so far.
Mm. Well, is the sound any different here?
It sounds quieter. You might have to move the mic closer to your mouth.
Well, it's actually that. Well, it's not necessarily a mic.
Oh, it's not. Oh, it's just headphones. Oh, there it is.
Do anything?
Okay, that's better.
Oh, it does. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, man, you got the headset and everything. Okay, yeah, that sounds a little better. Okay, Hero. Well, we kind of got first of all, you did mention Dragon Ball pretty quickly. Had to get that in there. It's like classic.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Didn't I?
It
Because of
just always
the screen.
I know, like a couple minutes. That was great. But okay, so I think it's been pretty cool. You've been getting into a lot of movies, and you've been getting into some Star Trek, which I really appreciate. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that later. But I'm going to start strong. As you know, I kind of have been shifting my focus a little more on my channel lately, just to talking about love of film. Which, uh, your opinion? Have you you like that direction, right? You're okay with that rebranding? I thought you said you
Yeah, it's
like.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, everyone should just do what they like to do.
I know. I mean, that's pretty much what everybody tells me, and I think that that's what we should all do. But I remember there was this part of me that's like, yeah, that's just about the most generic thing you can do on YouTube is talk about the movies you like. But heck with it, man. I'm just gonna do it. You know, got plenty of movies to talk about. But
Yeah.
you've been getting into a lot of stuff, so and you've been re-exploring some new classics. But I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Hmm.
Okay, are you ready?
What's the spot?
Okay. Well, I want you to go through your favorite movies. What are some of your favorite movies? Let's talk about them.
Hmm. Well, right off the bat, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1990.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that. I had a feeling you'd say that because that is actually going to be my next Joe Loves Movies. So I wanted to give a shout out to a few Ninja Turtles action figures I see in the background, by the way. Saw a
Oh,
couple.
those are the the big movie.
It's got the,
Is that the right way or the wrong way?
no,
No.
that's the right way I could see them. Yep. There's I think one of the trench coat and there's another one. Is that
Yeah, yeah,
Raphael?
yeah. It's Raphael and Leonardo.
All
Those are
right.
the quarter scale, but the ones you want to see are.
Oh, he's got to pull them out. He's got to show the see this is really what it's about. He's going to show me all the action figures he got. These are so pre-planned. These videos.
These are the ones you want to see.
Show me. Oh yeah. How big are they?
Not that big.
They look like the movie model, like the face. Is that, are they from
Oh
the
yeah,
movie?
yeah, that's the point.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. Now, Hero, since that's the first, oh, and you've got the Shredder. Rokusaki. Oh man. Okay, you're
Uh,
gonna get me nerding out about this. Okay.
yeah, you'll like this one. Just look how it looks.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is so cool, man. How much do those run you?
Um, they're like 30 each.
That's not too bad. I would have thought they would have been
Oh no,
worse.
the problem is finding them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because everyone buys them up.
Oh, nice. That's really cool, man. That's really awesome. How many action figures and toys and stuff you got now?
It might be 100.
Oh shit. I don't know if we'll
Might
do
be.
it this time, but I would love, I don't know if you'll do a video, but if you come back, you're on here sometime, which I hope you will. I'd love you to show off your stuff because I've only got a couple. I've got like, I might have a couple back at my mom's house. I might could dig up some old toys, but I've got on me, I've just got those Star Trek figures I showed you with Kirk, Spock, and McCoy.
Hmm.
I got the Justice Line Brainiac, and I got a RoboCop, of course. Um, but yeah, I got my action figure collection is weak. I wanna get some more.
Well, it's very expensive, man, and it's kind of stressful sometimes.
I know, and that's the thing. All right, we're gonna come back to Ninja Turtles, but you already got me like just I like okay. I like collecting things, but I mean, it's about room, having enough room for it. And to be honest, it's just like I see all these really cool figurines, and I'm like, man, they look so cool. I want to have more of them, but you're right, they are expensive. I remember
Yeah, it's a big
one
rabbit
time,
hole.
and I saw like, yeah, it is, and I remember seeing the worst ones I saw were like, I think I saw like a Gundam line thing that was like $1,000, and I'm like, I can't afford. It looks really cool, but I can't afford that. It was a
Oh
big
yeah,
thing.
because you look at the Beast Wars masterpiece or Transformers masterpiece, those are like in the 200s and above.
Oh my,
It's
oh.
worth for like when it comes to machines, for some reason they're the most expensive thing because there's a lot of mechas that are really up there.
Yeah, mecha stuff is Transformer stuff is, which makes sense because like that was like kind of the collector's boom. But yeah, man, we're gonna have to show off. You're gonna have to show off some more of your action figures sometime, man. I'm ready.
Mm.
But anyway, you mentioned 1990 Teenage Ninja Turtles. I think I said it totally wrong. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I said Ninja Turtles or something, but you know what I mean.
Ninja.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
But
Minja.
okay, that was the first thing you thought of easily. So does that mean default? It's like your favorite movie. You thought of it like instantly.
Well, maybe, but at the same time, I feel like I've been watching it too much lately.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm just sort of like, even though I don't remember it word per word, I do feel that if I keep watching it this many times, it's gonna lose its magic.
What's the magic? Oh! But has it lost its magic though?
Oh, the movie? No, I don't think so. What's that? Especially compare it to the Nickelodeon live action turtle movies that we got
Hmm.
on Paramount. Like those have um. I think it's a good thing I didn't see them when they were new because I'd probably be more upset about it.
Probably. I was glad you didn't jump on it, man. I really I don't think I don't think they were like the worst things ever. Like I don't think they're as bad as the Transformers movies have
No,
been, but
they're not that bad, but uh, there's definitely room for improvement.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I do you think part of the problem with those Bay movies is they're trying to make, I mean there's a lot of problems, but the main issue maybe they're trying to make it too adult focused, too
I
much
can see
like
what you mean, but the thing is, it's kind of weird. It's more of a teenager mentality, I think.
like it's immature, like oh you got boobs, you got cursing, drug references, but like for
Yeah.
instance you can have a story like the original movie, it's mature but it's not really like adolescent.
Mm. Well, not there, but there is some of it in it because you might forget this, but in the when they first find out about April O'Neil, all of the turtles are actually hitting on her
Which is weird, it's a little weird. Yeah, yeah.
because the line they're watching the news report. Raphael's about to like head out, and there's Michelangelo's like, I'm in love, and
Oh, and
Leo's
she
like, the
kisses the
girl is,
TV.
yeah, and Leonardo's like, the girl is a fox.
The girl is a fox.
Yeah, and then
Oh man, that goes into some weird territory. You'd think they wouldn't be interested. Is that well, I don't know. With the ooze serum, they they are
I know where
is
you're
there
going.
human? I'm just saying, like,
No,
okay,
I don't know if there's any human genitalia or
because
something.
no, I'm not trying to go there. I'm just saying that, like, they are, I guess they are humanoid turtles, right?
They're teenagers with attitude.
But they're teenage turtles.
Yeah,
What is
no.
an adolescence for a turtle like? I guess if they could speak, I don't know. Um, so clearly, this is why it's one of your favorite movies, because it asks these questions.
No, it's just that it's because I know it's such a generic thing to say, like, oh, it combines action and comedy flawlessly, but it really does, because if you look at the other films, it's always like too much of something.
Mhm.
And the Turtles, I feel this was Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman's attempt of making their Mirage Turtles into some sort of adaptation, because
Did
this was the first time they really incorporated a lot of the comic stuff into the storyline.
did the original comic creators have a lot to do with that movie? I
I,
forget.
f- I want to say they did, because the whole plot of the 1990 movie is pretty much a arc in the comics,
Hmm.
and I don't know how much input they had with the cartoon, but I don't think they were that involved in it, with honesty.
Yeah, the cartoon is like so much goofier, but you definitely can feel elements of the cartoon in the movie, though.
But yeah, because when they meet Splinter for the first time, he does sort of like paraphrase a quote from the first issue where he says that you must strike hard and fade into the night.
Well, I don't think he says that in the movie, though, does he?
He does.
He does? I
Yeah,
forget him
like
saying.
when they first meet when they go back to the sewer the first time, talk to Splinter, then he's trying to get their attention, but at that point, Michelangelo's ordering the pizza.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, and he's not listening. That's probably because I was probably more interested in Michelangelo. No anchovies, and if you put anchovies on that thing,
Yeah, because looking back in the movie, I do pick up on some little details that I didn't notice before. Because as soon as Michelangelo walks in the room, he goes towards the phone book.
nice. Like background things you're not focusing
Yeah,
on
yeah.
initially. Well, yeah, okay. Would you say, you know what? Okay, we're probably going to go all over the place with this, but um, one thing that I find interesting about the movie, would you say that the main character arc in the movie is Raphael's?
I would say so. Actually, I find it a little odd that Raphael's been getting a lot of development in the films, because it's not just the first one, but in the third movie, it was Raphael and Michelangelo were getting stuff
Yeah,
done, and
and
then the same thing happens in TMNT 2007. It's Raphael wanting to be in the Night Watcher, being this vigilante thing, and for beating up Leo and having to save him. And then fast forward again to the 2014 film, at the very end where they think they're gonna die, Raphael's like confessing all of his feelings to his brothers.
I guess it's just because he's like the dark, edgy one that's got all the anger issues, so it's interesting. But I like Raphael's obvious development in that movie. Um, do you think was in the first movie his whole issue like, I guess, learning to work better with his brothers? Because he was very like insecure about his abilities, I know, and he was
Well,
upset. You know, he wanted to prove himself.
it's
I couldn't really quite pin it.
not entirely resolved correctly. Is that the whole thing Splinter was telling him is that he was getting too angry, then he faces this enemy alone when he shouldn't,
Hmm.
and he does cooperate with his brothers when the foot are attacking like the bottom, the sewers down there,
Uh-huh.
but it's still not exactly like this fulfillment moment. I guess the closest thing um, is when Shredder has Leonardo pinned down and he's telling them to get rid of their weapons, and Raphael is like the first one to get rid of his.
Mm.
I think I don't know if that's exactly his redemption.
Yeah, because that's now that I'm thinking about it now. I mean, I think it's still a great film, but I'm like, I feel like he's the turtle that has like the most of an arc, but but I don't know exactly what it was. And also another thing that's very interesting, maybe it's just about the brothers trying to unite. I mean, the theme of the movie is obvious, but like it's interesting because I guess he's the turtle that's sort of the main character in the movie. But remember, after they get ambushed, he's like unconscious for like what, a good chunk of it.
Yeah, and then not to mention there's actually evidence of a bunch of cut scenes. because Michelangelo was also supposed to have a temper tantrum as well.
Huh.
Yeah, because okay, so there's a little edit in the movie because you remember at one part you see Raphael shouting on the roof like for Splinter.
Splinter.
Uh, if you look closely, that's actually Michelangelo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is. You can see the nunchuck, and they just slap Raphael's voice on him, and then supposedly Michelangelo was supposed to get like really upset about Splinter being gone, that he started like just breaking stuff in the farm.
Well, I think I actually like the way they did it better, which we've talked about before. What they do with Michelangelo in that movie is so subtle, because of course he's the goofy one. He doesn't talk about anything serious. Like that great moment we always talk about is him and Donnie, and the
Hmm.
right. Like you ever wonder, like without Splinter, what it'd be like, not having him. Yeah, time's up. Like completely deflecting,
Yeah, yeah.
completely like not wanting to think about it. And then I think, did you point out that like after everything happens, he's like the one that's taking it the hardest. Like he's falling to pieces. Like really is.
Yeah, because I don't know why those scenes were cut out because it would make the story flow a bit better.
Hmm.
Because you do see him like during the campfire, like well they're all crying, but I kind of felt that Michael was the one that taking it the roughest.
Definitely was. Is that supposed to be because he's the youngest? I don't know if he is he the youngest brother?
I think in later iterations he's been portrayed as the youngest turtle,
Hmm.
and it's become much more noticeable. Like from in 2003 series, Michelangelo was like the most, I guess, the modern nerd because
Hmm.
in those days, like he was still being made fun of for like collecting comic books and action figures. But then
Interesting.
then you fast forward to 2012. Um, like he was definitely like the most cutesy looking, the most childish of the bunch. And then in current rise, somewhere around there, but not really. I'm
Hmm.
not really quite sure what they're trying to do with him in rise.
So he's more of the nerdy one, I guess, stereotypically than Donnie is.
I guess so, because in Donnie, no, because in 2012 Donatello was full on nerd.
Okay.
Yeah, like with the gap in his teeth and being shy. The thing is, like in that series, he had a major thing for April.
Yeah, they okay, was that handled better, you think, than in other iterations?
It's better. It's way better. The thing is, the 2012 Turtles can get a little weird because there's a lot of like interspecies relationship in that show.
I didn't watch all of it, so I watched bits and pieces of it. What other relationships are there in it?
Well, this one's normal because Raphael's got like his interest in this like gecko alien,
Mm-hmm.
which was Mona Lisa,
Okay.
and I mentioned Donnie and April. Well, the weird one is Leonardo with Karai because
Oh,
Karai is like half human, half mutant kind of thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. And then Michelangelo's got this thing for this. I forgot her name, but she's sort of like this time traveler character.
Wow.
She's
Okay.
completely human, I think. So I don't know what's with the what's
Well,
going on
hey, I
here.
mean, I don't know. Apparently, if I mean, I don't know. I guess love is love.
I guess.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, I guess it does. Did that stuff bother you too much, or?
No, I just found it a little weird because I'm like, what's the demographic for this?
Gotcha. Well, okay. I will admit
Take
my
off the
turtle
headphones now.
off the headphones.
How's that?
Oh wow, that's even louder. Nice.
Oh, yeah, because they stopped barking, so hopefully they'll stay that way.
Okay, hopefully. All right. Well, here's a question for you, man. I know your turtle knowledge is probably bigger than mine. You went through like a lot of the stuff not too long ago. Well, from what I've seen thus far, the 1990 movie is still probably my favorite iteration of the Turtles overall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if you completely agree with that, but would if you had to pick one aspect of it, because you clearly like it a lot, what do you think the one thing that movie has over all the versions of the Turtles that kind of separates it, elevates it?
Uh, well, it's kind of like a juvenile answer, but it might be the truth.
Okay,
Costume.
just the fact that they just look really good.
Yeah, because I mean, Jim Henson's workshop is the one that designed the turtle suits.
I believe that's the last movie he had any work to do with, actually.
Yeah, because I know there's in memory of them there, or is it that or Secret of the Ooze where they have that title somewhere?
Yeah, dedicated to him because I think he
Yeah, because I
wasn't
mean,
like
you can tell just by looking at the toy. Because I mean, just look at the shell.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
That's awesome. And you know another thing too about it is that I think the level of costume design is really good for those guys, but the fact that they were able to pull off the stunts they were able to do in those suits is also awesome.
well, they had like different groups, like one for the turtle suits for like the conversations, one to do the stunts and turtle suits, and
Hmm.
voice actors to do the voice.
Were there were there some parts of the turtles that were puppetry or animatronic, or were they all people in suits all the time?
Splinter was a puppet.
I know Splinter was, but the turtles were always people in suits, right?
Yeah, the animatronics were all in the face.
Okay. Meh, 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 meh. Which they did a great job with, actually.
Yeah. Well, I guess it comes down to the writing because it just knows how to do character.
Yeah, definitely. So you just think it's the level of look. Yeah. So even over the classic 80s cartoon, even over like '03. I know you like '03 quite a bit.
Oh yeah, because they all offer different qualities of the show. Because 2003 was more of a. I remember the actor, I think it's Michael Sinter Nicholas or something of the sort. I was mentioning that 2003 had more ninja in it.
Ninja.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what separated from the others. But then 2012 kind of like combined the previous two shows together,
Do you
like
think
one format.
if the movies had continued and they could have been good quality, do you think they ever could have done Krang and Dimension X and all that stuff? Do you think they could have
Oh,
ever pulled it
well,
off?
here's the thing. Krang was supposed to come out, or something like that. Was supposed to come out in Secret of the Ooze.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, that's why it was the secret of the Ooze.
Oh, that was the secret of the use.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the doctor that was with them, the professor. Well, he was supposed to be one of the Utroms or Krangs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was supposed to be the big reveal.
Oh, that would have been awesome because I could have totally seen them do the Krang puppets and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know why it didn't happen. Because I know there's a bunch of like stuff on the cutting room floor. Because Ninja Turtles 4 was about all the turtles having mutations,
Nice. And
and
then it became the next mutation.
because there's also been talks about the fifth turtle, which I don't know, like whether it should happen or not.
Well, haven't they had a female fifth turtle in a couple versions?
Um, One, but then it just became two like last year.
I could have sworn there was a fifth one longer. Maybe I'm thinking of a different character.
No, because there was the Venus de Milo from the next mutation. That's what started it.
Hmm.
But the idea of a fifth turtle can pretty much go all the way back to the cartoon with Slash, and then with Secret of the Ooze, you got your Toka, or
Toka.
was it Razar? No, I think it was.
Uh, you think
I,
Roger
don't-
was the wolf
I
guy?
forgot. I don't remember which one was which. So I think it was Toka. But yeah, because I just find it funny because they say like, oh, we can't make more turtles but it hasn't really stopped it from keep making other turtle characters. But because I remember, I think it was Peter Laird that was opposed to Venus de Milo from the beginning because he didn't like the idea of the turtles having to breed or potential for them because it takes a unique quality that there's only four brothers.
Interesting. So
Yeah,
that I guess because they're kind of isolated, that they are sort of. That's one thing they have to deal with. In I guess they touch on that a little bit in the movies, but like, no, I mean they touch on other things that they kind of have to keep it in secret, and they don't want people to find out about them. And
yeah, but at the end of Secret of the Ooze, it kind of just goes out the door.
yeah, like yeah, I mean, go ninja, go. We're
Yeah,
out
like
there.
practice harder.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, turtles are good, but then it gets tougher, Hero. What are some other ones?
I think I might as well just pull it out.
Uh-oh. Okay, you got another one ready?
Yeah, I think I have some of my favorites in plastic form.
Okay. Well, of course.
Yeah, yeah, RoboCop is because this wasn't a dollar. By the way,
Would you buy it for $1?
I would, but no one sells it for a dollar.
He's like, I'd buy that for $1, but unfortunately, it's not that price, so I'll pay
No,
whatever I can for it.
yeah, yeah, RoboCop is I was way too young to watch that movie.
I have to think a lot of people were.
Yeah, it was single digits.
Oh, geez. Yeah, me too, to be honest. I watched that when I was very young.
Yeah, but the great story of humanity. And well, actually, I was watching a video and Peter Weller was saying that there was also a bit of a, I forget the details, but he mentioned that it has to do something with politics in the beginning,
Like what?
with war, because one of the news reports at the beginning of the film mentioned like an African something involving Africa. It might have been like a guerrilla thing or a terrorist thing.
Like being overthrowing a government or something?
Might be of the story because I remember Peter was saying that like part of the movie was about that, and he sounded kind of upset that no one got that.
Huh. I mean, there was a lot of political. I think it was more like economic commentary and about like, big business and corporations, but there wasn't, there might have been some political stuff, but I didn't think it was like,
I feel like Peter probably interprets RoboCop like very differently from everyone else.
probably because he had a different perspective on it. I mean, when you're acting and you're in the place of that character, you might see different things that, the audience might not in the final
Yeah,
product.
did you know that he was like a doctor in the arts?
Oh, Peter Weller?
Yeah, because he's like I forgot what it was, but some sort of Renaissance. I'm not sure if it was Italian or I forgot. I know he was like really into like these older architecture.
Huh. No, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. So technically, everyone should be calling him Doctor Peter
Dr.
Weller
Weller. Nice.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's got to be in that new game, and I swear, when I saw that first spot, it just didn't sound like him to me.
Yeah, I know, because well, the catchphrase isn't even from the movies. He just says something like
Dirtbag.
"Breeze dirtbag," or I forgot what he said. I just know that at the end he says "dirtbag." I'm like, you never said that in the movies. You never did.
They get over creep.
Yeah, I think it over creep or like "Dead or Alive." You're coming with me. Your move, creep.
Your move, creep. So, all right. RoboCop clearly, we've talked about RoboCop at length, and there might be some other videos coming on about it at some point. But if you had to condense, okay, of all the quotable lines, what do you think the best quotable line from RoboCop is for you?
Well, the one that stuck to me the most was always "Can you fly, Bobby?"
Why is that? I
I don't know.
love
I
that
just
one.
something about that line just kind of resonated with me
Can
since
you
the
fly, Bobby?
since the beginning. It's not even a RoboCop saying it. It's freaking
Clarence.
Clarence Bonnaker. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe it's the fact that he was one of his own men and he just tossed him aside.
Yeah, that's pretty evil,
Well,
actually.
there's a lot of lines because also just like you're dead, we killed you.
We killed you.
Yeah, and then like, who are you? Who are you? Of course, everyone's the best moments like, I can't do that. The you know what? Yeah, the freaking thing.
Help me.
Like, don't touch me, man.
Don't touch me, man.
God.
Yeah, great stuff.
Run over. Well, but then again, Ed 209 is like
He's got
10
great
or
lines
15
too.
seconds to comply.
You have 15 seconds to comply. I
Yeah.
think he should have given him more of a window, just a little bit.
Yeah, but then again, it's like you can't even hear the gun drop. So.
Yeah, that's true. Was that the
That was
malfunction
the
was?
reason. Because you can barely hear them say that because it's very far in the background. Because they're saying like he didn't hear. I forgot the exact wording. He said something on the lines that he didn't hear drop the gun, and someone else responds like he didn't hear it, like angrily.
Oh, okay. Because I thought
Like
it was like an internal malfunction, but he didn't
no,
actually
like
register it.
his audio did not pick up the gun falling down.
Oh,
But I'm
interesting.
guessing. I don't know. Does that mean that Ed 209 can't see or what?
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that. Yeah, does he detect by like? Yeah, like okay, he saw the gun drop, but if he needs to actually hear it too, yeah, does that 209 have eyes?
I don't know because I would have to double check because I'm not sure we saw a point of view shot from his
No, I
eye or
don't.
not because I don't know. But it just further point out that it was a defective machine and also he's just willing to make anything and
Hey, man, spare parts for 20 years. I mean, who cares if it worked or not?
yeah.
Yeah, man, but he was authorized to use physical force.
Yeah, authorized. And the thing is that we're gonna use it for parking tickets, man.
I know, that's awesome. Like, oh,
Like,
they're just
come
gonna have
on.
him like walk around in the parking lot, like, all right, You can't park your. So clearly established in this universe, if you're parked, double parked, or what, blow you away. Like he will straight kill
It's
you.
justified.
It's justified, apparently. Like what the fuck? But that's
Well, yeah,
true.
because I mean, this is the kind of world where, like in the other films, you get a Magnavolt
Magnavolt.
lethal response.
No need to run down your battery. No need to trouble the police. Just
Yeah.
somebody breaks in your car. Fuck, they're
Yeah,
dead.
I mean, like I guess they don't mind the smell of a corpse.
Kind of makes me wonder. Okay, OCP is a powerful company, so they said they're buying out the police force. But does that mean they? I guess they own like the judges and the whole local police system, the government. Like, because there's no like due process. It's just like literally you get blown away for whatever. Like they make up the laws too. Damn.
I don't know, because personally, what I would like to see is there's ever like a remake or a continuation for RoboCop.
Don't say remake, hero.
Oh,
No.
or something. Okay, what I would like to do, let's say the Magnavolt thing was like we'll see more of that, but had it like completely mess up.
Mess up.
Yeah, could be like, let's say some guy they're getting mugged, he goes in the car, gets shot to death, and they're like, see, like, hey, take a photo with me, or like take a picture of me like with this dead guy. He touches the door and he gets shot.
Oh, like it becomes
Yeah.
defective.
Yeah, it becomes effective, and they're trying to get this to like sue OCP. It doesn't go through because saying like they should have read the fine print, or some sort of BS.
So should that be a plot of a movie or just like a little tidbit? Like
I feel like
Magnavolt
that's
is
part of
sued
it.
for like
Then you can lead to
constantly
other stuff.
killing all of
Like the something like 5,000. That could be like a whole like scare. They're saying like none of the OCP products work, and people kind of realize that OCP needs to go downhill.
Well, actually, I must have missed that detail. Does OCP have a monopoly on like all products? Like all those commercials are theirs?
I guess so, because they're all well. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to double check now, because I know the insurance one where the guy shoots himself, that was OCP. Yeah.
Lost the call, lost the account. Is that the darkest RoboCop commercial?
Commercial maybe, but I feel like the darkest moment in RoboCop is actually in 3 of all places.
Really?
Yeah, because it's when the stock is going down for OCP, and then there's this one guy, an employee, that jumps out the window,
Shit.
and his wife is on the phone saying like, "Honey, can you hear me? Are you there?"
Oh no.
And he just jumps out the window, and you see him fall.
That's fucking messed up.
And you see the crowd of people going around it, but you don't see the corpse or anything because it's PG-13. But I still
Biggest
feel that was
mistake.
like the darkest moment in RoboCop.
Ironic. Huh.
Yeah, actually, in that same movie, minutes afterwards, when Johnson and that other guy are walking in to say, like, what happened? Oh, he just jumped out the window. And then he said, like, I would eat a bullet less showy. And then later on, like, you're fired. Get out of here. Then he just shoots himself. Like,
Oh, jeez. Yeah, they certainly don't stray away from that stuff. But do you think RoboCop 2 is the darkest one overall?
well, that depends. What do you find darker, like a cop who loses his family and gets shot to death, or a cop that uses drugs to?
I don't know. Actually, I think the first movie, the first movie obviously goes into some pretty dark places, but I think it's a better balance where the second movie,
The second movie feels like a whole big PSA.
yeah, I don't know. The second movie is like it's got a lot of like disturbing, uncomfortable things. Like I don't think it's as fun to watch RoboCop 2.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, probably the best scene. Maybe this is the darkest scene. Now that I think about it, it's when the like like you said, you're just gonna scare him. Doesn't he look scared?
Oh yeah, he starts like torturing the guy. Yeah,
Then again, RoboCop getting tortured, that's also pretty dark as well.
yeah. I mean, I think that probably the second scene was more of like a horror sort of tone, whereas I think the other one was just kind of more dramatic. Which man, I believe I didn't know this. I think a Dead told me recently. Apparently, in the director's cut, you actually get to see more gore in that. Apparently,
I don't know about 2 or 3. I wasn't aware there was cuts for those, because
in the
first
first one.
movie, there's only 2 scenes that are effective. It's the Ed 209 shooting, because there's one extra like 3 or 4 seconds where you see Kenny on the desk and you see him get shot there.
Oh wow.
Like he's already dead, and you just see like I'll link you it later. And the only other difference is when Murphy is shot. There's a few different angles, because you see him is clearly where his head gets shot off. Or I mean, not shot
Oh,
off, get shot through.
oof. Which also, I think I kind of say this. It seems like there's this consistent theme because I kind of talked to Dad about this not that long ago. Like with a lot of my favorite movies, it's I just seem to really like a lot of the good practical effects, and I guess RoboCop is another great example of that. You know, like
Yeah.
the blood like from when Murphy's getting shot. Honestly, uh, I think it's very effective. I really do.
You know why you know what's interesting about the scene where they're shooting Murphy?
What?
That's a like a big mannequin.
That's a mannequin they're shooting.
That's a mannequin animatronic kind of thing. That's like so it's actually like a very convincing likeness to Peter's face.
They probably made a mold of his face and everything.
Probably, but it was like that's what they were shooting at.
Did they have squibs in it or on it?
But they had what?
Like blood squibs? Like were they in it or are they on it?
Mm, I'm not sure. They probably in it because it's only from the torso up
Okay.
that's been built.
Because I guess for the effect, they must have actually shot through the mannequin's head then.
I guess so.
Wow. Huh.
Probably because I know the other thing was that the stop motion used for Ed 209 in some scenes and for Kane.
For Kane. Those are definitely the effects that are, I guess, the ones that don't hold it the most, but I don't really mind them too much.
Oh, it's all with the lighting. That's really because when you first see it, you won't notice it, but as the clarity gets better, it's become more noticeable.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember as like a kid, I remember thinking it just made it more jarring, like scary when it showed up. Like, I don't know, it made it more frightening, I suppose. Dun, 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 dun. Man, RoboCop. RoboCop's the man. Okay, that's true. He he's Robo and a cop. So let's see.
Mhm.
We got Ninja Turtles. We got RoboCop. Got any more in the plastic nearby?
I think one more in terms of like favorite movie.
Okay.
It's a little dirty.
Oh, you got to keep
Uh,
them pristine, hero. Keep them pristine.
I don't know something about the. No, wait, that's not it. Where is it?
Or is it?
Yeah, there's something about the material they use for this figure doesn't do so well. You're like dust just sticks to it.
Hmm.
Although the likeness is great. Uh,
Oh, well,
yeah,
that.
because I mean, even though it's just from the chin, and you can tell that's Michael Keaton.
So wait, Michael Keaton played who? What character is that?
Oh, it's this character called Birdman. You might have heard of
Oh
it.
yeah, Birdman. That was an interesting film. I think it was referencing something I didn't get.
Yeah, yeah. They kept talking about some superhero movie from the '80s. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Keaton is the man. That movie is great. Actually, a pop quiz for you, hero.
Mhm.
You, could you guess what my favorite scene in that movie is?
Birdman or Batman?
Batman.
Oh, is it the
I'll give you a clue. It's not super obvious. It's like a very it's kind of like it's not really like an important scene exactly, but it's just a really great moment. I don't know. I think it's like it
is it
summarizes.
the mafia meeting?
No, the mafia meeting's pretty good. I mean, there's so many great scenes. I mean, there's no real wrong answer, but um, I think my favorite scene is like when he just rescued Vicky Vale and he's
Mhm.
taking her to the Batcave, and
Yeah.
they're just kind of driving through the that little forest, and it looks like a
Oh,
very
when the music is building up and the
yeah.
bounty like slams to the wall.
Da-na-na-na-na. Like I really just everything about that way that shot was composited with the actual Batmobile coming up. Like I don't know if that was a model there or the actual car there, but the trees are just the forest is very Tim Burton-y forest, and the Danny Elfman score is just swelling, and I just love that little moment where she's like looking at his face in the profile and kind of like almost detecting it might be Bruce Wayne, and he kind of just does that, that stiff thing, and he kind of just like eyes her slightly, and then just readjusts the light so that she can't see him, and goes into the back, and then she just like
Yeah, yeah.
overwhelmed.
The
She's like,
music
oh,
fades to black.
she
Well,
almost
the
like
thing is
faints.
though, like the way that scene goes down, it almost kind of looks like that he might have been raped her.
No, you're talking about right after that when he tells her, yeah, you have
Yeah, you got
something of
something.
mine, and then lifts up the cape, and then but he's Batman. He's a good guy. He didn't
Yeah,
do
no, because then the
anything.
next scene she's like, "Oh, he took the film."
Because yeah, she's for a second she's like, "Oh, did he take advantage?" Oh no, no, he took the film, like,
Like,
which is great because, like, she was trying to be clever, but got to keep my secret identity under wraps.
mm,
Although I'm pretty sure you'd agree, the Bruce Wayne in that movie doesn't care about his secret identity at all.
yeah, I guess not. 'Cause
Not really. By the second movie, I mean, pretty clearly. It's like, I got the bat
yeah, we
signal.
get into scene like we like call Batman, and then
Like, I mean, if anybody
house
comes over,
lights.
why do you have the bat signal?
It's
Because
like
I
I
want to
like bats.
I like bats. I'll call him, I'm Bruce Wayne. I can call Batman. Like, he doesn't care if anybody questions it. Like, does anybody question it? I don't know.
Oh, I guess not. It's like the
Hmm.
question. How do we call him? He gave us a signal.
He gave us the signal, literally.
I
So,
remember Kevin Smith was saying that the bat signal wouldn't work.
why not?
Oh, because like what if it rained?
Oh, you could still see it on the
He was
clouds.
bringing up a bunch of points like what if it rains? What if the clouds are not in the right formation?
Well, then I guess Gotham screwed that night.
Well, maybe it will work every time because Gotham's always dark.
Yeah, Gotham's always dark. I mean, well, I'm sure Batman could come up with some different kinds of lights. But wait, does Bruce Wayne personally fund that through like a secret account? Does that come out of tax dollars to keep up the lights? Do they have just one light?
I don't
Do
know.
they have backup lights? I mean,
I don't even remember. Does he even have a company in this movie?
yeah, I think they talk about it more in the second movie. He does have, well, I don't know if he has a company, but he definitely like uses his money to like fund other people, I guess, and stuff, because he can give people grants. Remember, he gives Knox a grant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he definitely is involved, but I don't know if he has a company in those movies. I think he's just rich and can do what he wants because he's Batman. But yeah, do you think how do you feel about Vicky Vale as a love interest in that movie?
Hmm, I don't know. It's just sort of like I feel like I sort of have to re-examine, but at the same time, I kind of feel there isn't much there.
Yeah.
Or maybe there is something there. I'm just not paying attention to it.
I mean, I thought they had pretty good chemistry in the movie, but I don't know. I feel then again, I guess him and Catwoman would have been more interesting in the second movie, but clearly that wasn't going to work.
No relationships worked, and
Well, oh, all right, going off topic a little, slightly. Do you think, okay, what is your ideal version of Batman? Like, what do you read of the book or watch him? Like, how do you want your Batman to be? Because I don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be one of those people that's like a character can't grow and have family, but I've always liked the idea that Batman's like really obsessed and he has trouble getting close to people. But some people like are fine with him getting married and having kids. How do you like Batman? Like when you're reading him or whatever?
well, I feel like he was better categorized in the animated series and Justice League appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, but I always kind of been kind of curious, like how he reacts to guns, because for being a kid and seeing his parents get shot, I would assume that he would be like afraid of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that should have been like a whole arc of him trying to overcome that fear of weaponry, and that's how he put himself out there, like in the streets of Gotham.
Yeah, he just kind of hates guns. He doesn't use them, but he's not really he does never really see him being afraid of guns, which would make sense if he was.
Well, I feel like he shouldn't use them just because for that reason.
Yeah,
Like
except
he
in the
shouldn't, because I know even like in I think in the Dark Knight, like he used the gun once at something, but well, I don't know. I don't feel like he should be using them, and then that's why he has to resort to batarangs as the substitute.
all right, fine. But how about this? In the in the Tim Burton movies, clearly he
Uh,
has no problem with machine guns.
oh, that
Yeah,
because it's like it's on the car, it doesn't count.
yeah, that's bull.
uh, I don't know, because Tim Burton's Batman. Well, here's the thing: a lot of people say like, "Oh, the Nolan movies are so much better because like Batman's like more accurate." But I'm like, no, he's not.
Not really.
No, he's not. Not even the villains, because I mean, well, I mean, as great as Joker is, I don't see no Joker gas or Joker venom in that whole movie.
True, true. Where is that?
Yeah, where is it? Like, Bane has no venom in him.
Nope, nope,
Ra's al Ghul isn't some immortal person with the Lazarus pit.
nope.
No, he's not even like whatever, whatever he was supposed to be. It's like he just became somebody else with stunt double, body doubles, and all that.
Yeah, he's just a name.
I'm actually surprised Scarecrow kept his stuff.
Scarecrow is pretty accurate, I guess.
Yeah, because they kept the fear gas. I'm thinking, it's okay. So you keep the fear gas, but you don't keep the venom, the Joker gas, or the Lazarus pit.
I think, I want to say that when they were getting started out, that is interesting because the whole pitch of those movies was that it's supposed to be like kind of a more realistic take. But you're right, there's still some pretty goofy stuff. I mean, that's actually one thing I did like about The Dark Knight Rises is I feel like he does get to those ridiculous levels of being Batman by the end, like him randomly appearing on Gotham somehow, like him jumping around, dodging bullets and stuff. Like, he kind of gets to that point.
Because with Tim Burton, obviously he doesn't, you know, He's like, it's not a problem.
Well, yeah, he doesn't
Yeah,
care.
but I feel like he's also accurate in a way that he uses a lot of detective skills as well as the weapons.
In the Burton movies?
Yeah, the Bird movie, because I know in Dark Knight he also has like some other tools, but the thing is, I don't feel like he feels traditionally Batman because again, I'm gonna say this because it has to do with the costume and this relates to appearance. Because with Dark Knight, you don't really see him play with the cape, like not too much.
No, not really.
Because the first time you see Batman, like fully see him in the Tim Burton film, like he dives down with the cape like in this bat-like formation, and even the cape itself has like these rugged edges to simulate the natural bat wing. And throughout the movie, there's a lot of angles where his face is shaded, so it gives like this allure of mystery or like a dark hero kind of
Hmm.
thing. Because I remember when they're raiding the chemical plant or factory, whatever. Because there's a couple of angles where you see Batman just sort of hovering, like going from place to place.
Hmm. Gliding
Then
kind of.
also with the all the smoke and when you see him leave, like who is this guy? You just see that shadowy figure just take off. I just feel like that. Even the end of the movie, where you see him standing on top of the church next to the bat symbol, that's like that's iconic Batman visuals. And I kind of feel Dark Knight was like kind of like embarrassed of it.
You mean like almost embarrassed of the comic book nature of like how iconic the bat element really was? It was
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
get away from that.
yeah. They're just getting away from all the comic book stuff. That's why it's like a lot of how can I put this? I don't know. I don't want to say grounded reality. That's the most easy thing, but I guess it does fall more action film because I do remember Dark Knight. There was like the whole truck scene,
Yeah.
all that. A lot more vehicles, a lot more firearms. Not enough.
Gadgets.
Yeah, I guess gadgets. Because I mean, even Joker, because um in the Burden, like he had the electric shock buzzer, and also like the pins mightier than the sword.
Oh yeah, he had a lot of gadgets
Oh
actually.
yeah, the balloons and all that. There's just so much
The
stuff.
teeth.
Yeah, the teeth. Like you would hit a guy with glasses now. Would you?
Boom.
Yeah, I just feel there's something going there because a lot of people put Heath Ledger on a big pedestal, but the thing is, like, what I feel kind of bad of is that his performance can be easily imitated.
I've noticed that too, and I remember that was one thing that came out. You're right. I mean, I can do a pretty good Heath Ledger performance, but I'm like,
I think
well, if
anyone, because you try to imitate Jack Nicholson's voice, you really can't.
it's really hard. It's really hard to do. Like, yeah, it's a lot harder to imitate Jack Nicholson. Yeah, but but I guess I think it's because Heath Ledger he does the whole guttural thing, and I don't
Yeah,
have
because
that
there's a
bass
lot of
style.
mouth that, and I just feel like it's too. Because I know it was like pretty impressive at the time, but I just kind of feel like maybe that's Cecilia's thing, the entire thing of Batman, because the way he talks, the way he moves, like it's supposed to be like this creepy, unsettling thing, but I feel over time it just kind of comes off as easily parodied.
Oh, it's very easy to parody. That's true, and I think that maybe that's a labor of love, perhaps, because people really do like The Dark Knight. But it's definitely been parodied more than the original, the Tim
Yeah,
Burton one.
well, because like I said earlier, you can't. It's not easy to imitate Jack.
No, there is only one Jack. I mean, some people can, but even then, I'm just kind of doing like I don't even. That's not Joker.
Well, I know, but then again, like I know people could do good imitation of Mark Hamill, but even
Yeah,
then, Mark Hamill has like his own flair.
he does. Still best Joker though, right?
Mm. Well, admittedly, I still haven't seen the Joaquin Phoenix version, but
Oh, it's probably worth you checking out. I think you might. It's definitely worth a watch.
well, the thing is, the reason why I refused to see it is because I didn't want to get any ideas and affecting my own stories. Because
Well,
I feel
that's
like it might. So I just feel like no, you stay away over there at least.
well. I don't know, man. You've been saying that a lot about how things have been inspiring you, but that's not a
Well,
bad thing if you get good
I know
ideas.
that, but if I want to make like a original characters as it can be, or bring something new to the table. Like I feel like I need to.
Well, dude, I hate to break it to you, but you're constantly being influenced by things. You know?
Well, let me just have this one. Just have
Well,
this.
let's see. I have another topic I kind of want to drift into, but are there any other movies you'd like to mention before we move on?
Because those three were like the ones that I would watch a lot as a kid, and access to the VCR and all.
Mm-hmm.
What would other ones be? Um, well,
Uh-oh. Another one.
yeah, there's only one left. It's sort of a recent favorite.
Oh, that's right. Evil Dead films.
Yeah, because actually, like contrary to most people, like I kind of like the first one a little bit more,
Um,
just a little bit.
I actually saw the first one for the first time not too long ago, and I've seen Evil Dead 2 several times, and I've seen some of Army of Darkness, but I haven't seen the whole movies through. Most
Mm,
people, and I feel like most people say Evil Dead 2 is the best, and a lot of people love
yeah,
Army of
usually.
Darkness. But the first movie, I feel like people don't talk about as much because it's not as silly over the top. But I actually really liked it. I thought it was a good, just horror movie for the budget of the time.
Yeah, it's really gruesome and dark because essentially is you got Ashley Williams hanging out at this house with his friends, girlfriend, and sister, and everyone dies but him.
Yeah, I know that's messed
Well,
up.
technically, he was actually supposed to be. He's actually does die at the end of the movie.
So all right, Evil Dead 2 is basically just kind of like a soft reboot remake of the first movie, right?
Well, that's the misconception actually.
Okay. Because that's what confuses me. Because in Evil Dead 2, it does seem like it's basically the same thing. Does Ash not remember what happened the first time around? Is it like an alternate dimension? What is it?
Okay. So to explain the confusion, there is going to be some continuity errors regardless.
Okay.
Okay, because I remember at the end of the first film, he
Mm-hmm.
burned the book, and I forgot what happened to that blade with the skull in it. I don't remember the name of that weapon. No, it's there later on too. Okay. So the reason why the beginning is different and why
Mm-hmm.
people assume that why did Ash leave and come back to the cabin with a different girl? A lot of people assume that is that as strange as it sounds, when they were making Evil Dead 2, they did not have the rights to use their first film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't have no access to it. So that's why they
Okay.
had to make like a mock-up recap using
So,
different actors and different.
oh, okay. So because they didn't have rights to their original film, they that's why there was a little bit of like a flashback, sort of like acknowledging it, but it is supposed to be
Yeah, it's supposed
a
to be the second night because Ash is there for 2 nights.
okay, but there is a whole new cast of characters that come in though.
Yeah, but they're not with the.
I
Obviously,
mean,
there's some continuity errors because you're kind of wondering where. Let me see. I feel there should be one other person like corpse around. Yeah, because it's. I have to double check because I know that 2 or 3 other corpses didn't melt when
hmm.
he burned the book, and I know his Linda let's just come back from the grave again. But there is gonna be some continuities that don't mix up because once for example, when you go to Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, at the end of Evil Dead, they're like worshiping him, but in Army of Darkness, they just put him in chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, because something like that also happened with when the Ash versus Evil Dead series that they did not have access to Army of Darkness for some reason.
Oh, they didn't have. That there really are some weird rights issues. How do you not
Yeah,
like
it's
have right access to your own characters and movies? And I don't.
well, it's all. I think every film was owned by a different studio.
Oh, that must have been what. Okay, that would be an issue. Interesting. Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Well, two questions. Well, okay, okay, a three-part question. First of
Mhm.
all, you said you like the first movie the best. Why is that?
Well, probably. Well, I just find it more gruesome.
Okay.
Well, also it was my introduction. Well, unlike most people, I saw Evil Dead like chronologically.
Okay.
Well, that's part of the reason I was kind of surprised, like how crazy it went, like just in like one little building.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
I do feel that Evil Dead 2 has a lot more um, creativity when it comes to like the off the wall stuff, like the deer head laughing. I feel like that scene's where it kind of blends the. Well, for a lot of people, they say that scene blends the comedy and horror well. But for
mhm.
me, I always kind of interpret it more as horror being played straight. Well, yeah, because after the laughing, like Ash starts screaming, and it's like he's losing himself.
Yeah, I think he's losing it, and but a lot of people find that funny as comedy, but you don't think
Yeah,
it's like supposed to be comedic?
I think well, I didn't interpret it that way, but I know some people definitely react differently. Like the part that I would say is intentionally funny is the hand,
Yeah, the hand's pretty funny
because the hand does stick the finger at himself.
for sure.
But then there's other scenes where like when he has to chop it off, like that's like you can't really take that as funny.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to view it. I know a lot of people view Evil Dead 2 as like a good, fun comedy, but yeah, well, it's comedy horror, so I guess it's got a little bit of
Well,
both.
I feel Army of Darkness is the one that should be have the comedy horror title.
I felt bad because I feel like for a while that one was like sort of praised as being like the most awesome one, and I tried to watch that one admittedly out of context, and I couldn't get into it. The first couple times through, I've my feelings about Evil Dead have changed. I remember because I was just shown Evil Dead 2 a lot, and I didn't fully appreciate the campy humor at first, but now that I know a little more about it, I kind of am more interested in it. But
Well,
so how do you?
admittedly, like Army of Darkness is the one that I don't like. I like the least.
But why is that?
Well, I don't know the end. Like I kind of feel like kind of dragged down a bit by the end because there's this fight against all these skeleton warriors and like the evil Ash that's like all decomposed. But I felt like it wasn't anything too exciting at that point.
Huh? Interesting.
Like I was more interested in everything beforehand because I wasn't really sure like how what the tone was gonna be when going into that.
How'd you feel about the show?
I like the show. It's just that the thing is Ash at that point goes full on camp,
Mm-hmm.
but I do like the storylines of the way it's being treated. It almost feels like a Berserk adaptation in some parts.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's some of the Deadites are like mocking him, saying that he failed his life, that he's like a nobody even after all these years.
Gotcha.
So
So the
there's stuff
kind of
like that. Because I know there's some episodes where he has to get in touch with his father, and when I saw the first movie, I was actually kind of theorizing that with Ash being the survivor, that it looks like that he might have been the one that killed everyone else.
you think so? Oh, that might have
Well,
been like his own
well,
interpretation.
that's what people think. Because in Ash versus Evil Dead, like people from his hometown started hearing about that, and they were thinking that he's the one that killed them all.
Oh,
And there's like no real Deadites and all that.
that could all be in his imagination. Wow. Huh.
Yeah,
That's an interesting
because
theory.
there's also a part where he's stuck in an asylum for like a little bit.
Oh wow. Well, I didn't hear about that. Okay. I heard some people didn't like the ending or something, or didn't have an
Well,
ending.
no, it didn't really have an ending. It's sort of like, well, like other Evil Dead movies, it sort of like feel like it leads to something because towards the end he had to fight like this giant demon, and then at the very last scene he wakes up in the future,
Oh, nice.
like like an advanced type of future. You see him with, like this super decked out car, and then that's where it ends.
Evil Dead in space.
I guess that'd be a new avenue, but
Yeah, definitely. You liked the remake, didn't you?
oh yeah, that was like I guess that's a good example of like of doing something similar but not exactly the same.
That was like straight horror.
Yeah, it was straight horror too, so that's part of the reason. It was a bit more gross out, I guess.
I will
'Cause,
admit, I did think that some of the gore effects were really good in that movie. Like they did a good job with that.
yeah, I guess that's like the maybe that might be the like the last real horror movie.
Last one that I've seen that's more like a kind of a blend. Yeah, kind. I I remember it not really appreciating it as much, but I do remember thinking that it had some pretty creepy moments, and I did think the effects were really good in that too. I think a lot of practical stuff there for sure, and the girl was good. She played both parts really well.
Uh,
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think. Did correct me if did that have like I guess was she sort of the Ash Williams like character in that movie? Was there an Ash like in that?
I guess so because well, what's interesting about that movie that it plays more on the brother sister relationship instead of the everything else like with
Hmm,
the like Ash girlfriend thing is it's more about the two siblings. However, at the very end of the teaser credits, you do see Ash.
groovy.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's all he says, and
Which
it
was
ends.
great. I did like that, but like, and I remember for a while they were playing around with like alternate universes. There could be another remake. Like they were having a hard time getting something on the ground to connect that, and they just I guess eventually made the show.
Yeah, I don't know, like they kind of gave up on it or not.
I think so. It probably is one of those things they wanted to have like a cross universe, and it just didn't materialize. But people, I liked the couple episodes I saw of the show. I think it's on Netflix now. I might have to check
Yeah,
it
yeah,
out.
it's there.
Um, well, all right, man. I know. Well, all right. So let's see, RoboCop, Ninja Turtles, Batman '89, and of course this one. Um, let's see, any other? I know you bring up The Fly a lot.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cronenberg fly. Oh yeah, well that one was well we pretty much talked about it a couple of times where it's essentially like a scientist love story that goes horribly wrong
Yeah,
all because of transportation.
I know. Just because of that strange idea. Yeah, quick
Yeah, because
transportation.
a fly gets in and then
Whoops.
yeah,
All right.
then body horror ensues.
Have you ever seen the original? Actually, with
Yeah, I
Vincent
did.
Price.
Yeah, I did. Well, that one's perspective is completely more on the wife than anybody else.
I do enjoy that one though. Actually, I thought it was pretty good. I I remember not really being sure how to take it when I saw it years ago, but I thought like, was it going to be too cheesy? But I actually thought that for the time, I thought that the fly head was pretty effective actually.
Oh yeah, because well before it leads up to it, because you see his face covered with that black cloth, and you do see the hand from time to time.
Hmm. A little bit, and I think what sells it for me is that I mean, clearly they did a good job like trying to create the mask and everything, but it's got the little hairs,
Uh huh.
like a fly has. I
Yeah.
think that if it looked too plastic, it wouldn't have sold it, but it doesn't reflect too much or anything. It pretty sold it for me actually.
Well, that also their performances, because you can feel their frustration of like you need to catch that fly and they just can't.
Hmm.
Although it is pretty interesting how it begins at the ending of the story, leading up to the beginning, the middle, and the end again.
Hmm. Yeah, they kind of play around a little bit with the
Because
narrative.
I originally saw the ending of that fly like out of context, and I always felt like it
Help
could come off
me.
as a bit cheesy. But after seeing the whole thing through and then that, now I just kind of feel like kind of
Uh,
disturbed.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I know that's a classic thing to make fun of, but like I don't know. When I saw the movie, I'm like I didn't. I thought that was a pretty disturbing ending.
Yeah, because like that's like you just killed a life.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
Ugh.
was
Help me. Yeah, but the Cronenberg work ups it. Really
yeah,
ups
that
it.
one's like it's full on gross.
Yeah.
Well, that one's all about the mutilation of the bodies just falling apart.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a classic one. Well, let's see. I feel like those are ones I know about for you, Hero. Are there any other major ones I might have missed?
Um, I would assume Rocky will be in there somewhere.
Which one's your favorite Rocky?
Might be three.
Yes, Rocky 3, Eye of the Tiger. Yes, man.
Oh yeah, it's mainly the scene where Adrian like encourages Rocky, just gets Rocky to snap out of it.
Hmm.
Well, that and also with Mick just passing off in the beginning and all that. I
Yeah,
just kind of wished instead of Clubber Lang there was Ivan Drago in it.
yeah. I don't know. I know you said that like that would have been a better villain, and I guess Drago is a good villain because he killed Apollo. But I have always really liked Clubber Lang
Mhm.
as a villain. He is a bit cheesy, but he just has so much anger for no reason. Like I like why is he so mad? I don't understand. It's hilarious. I don't know, but I think it's a bit cheesy, but I think it's a good kind of like sort of fall from grace for Rocky, kind of getting, I guess, up on a pedestal and then learning about his roots again. So I kind of
Oh,
appreciate that story. Did you see the Creed movies at all?
well, yeah, I've seen them.
You like them?
Creed 2 was definitely like the better of the two for me.
Okay, gotcha. All right, here. Well, I'll tell you what. I see you're yawning. I see you're tired.
Yeah,
Uh,
sorry about
no, no, no,
that.
no. It's
I'm
okay.
still tired.
It's okay. Now, I was thinking before we wrap it up, there's definitely one thing I do want to cover. Now, you have been getting more into Trek,
Yeah.
so okay. Uh, so far, what would you say? Okay, your favorite characters are what? Data, Worf, anybody else overall?
It was Spock.
Spock. Okay, so those are your favorite characters thus far in Trek. Why would you say that is? These are pretty, common answers, but I'd like to hear your reasoning.
I guess for being outsiders.
Okay, gotcha. And of those three, which one is your favorite?
I would say Spock and probably Data second.
Okay. So you like the more logical approach to things, trying to be human sort of thing,
Oh
balancing?
yeah, that's well, it's opposite because for Spock he's like trying not to be human.
Try not to be too human, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Then Data's obviously wants to be one.
okay. Now, you went through all the movies except for motion picture, and you haven't seen any of the next gen ones yet.
Well,
Um,
actually, I did kind of skip ahead and did see the what was it called? Generations, I
oh,
think.
you saw the one with Kirk.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, that's good because I was going to ask you about the movies. So, all right. So, how did you feel about Generations?
I like the idea, but I just don't like the conflict at the end.
You don't like
Because
the fight?
no,
Okay, well, spoilers for anybody watching, but how did you feel about Kirk's death?
well, I don't know. I feel like it should have been grander.
It should have been better, right?
No, it should have been better. 'Cause the thing is, I just find it funny that Picard just couldn't handle this. I don't know if he was superhuman or not, but
Yeah,
he just couldn't fight him, man. And it's like,
it kind of
okay,
makes
Captain
Picard look
Picard,
like
I need you to help me, like, and then they
it's
still can't.
yeah, it's kind of sad Picard couldn't handle this guy. Oh man. Do you like the fact
No,
that he
it
buries
just really bothered me. It's like he just physically couldn't handle him. I'm thinking, but it's like I don't think it should have been impossible.
No,
I mean,
I
if Kirk handled like a Gorn, you know,
that's why I needed him. To be fair, Picard is not as much of a hand-to-hand combat guy
well,
as
I
Kirk
know
though.
that, I know that, but I just felt it should have been something else, something else, man.
Okay. Did you how about this though? Did you like Kirk and Spock's interactions though? Not Kirk and Spock's, but Kirk and Picard's interactions.
Picard, I did, but I feel like Kirk should have stayed dead at the beginning of the movie.
You
Like
like
that
this?
would have been fine, like for a death right there for an epitaph, and then
So you
in the
think that
middle have that like telling Picard what to do or encourage him, and then that's it. But I don't know,
okay.
I just really did not like that because the scene that shocked me is when the Enterprise crashes and then everyone dies.
Yeah, yeah, they
It's like
kill
shit.
everybody.
Yeah, I just kill everybody, and then time resets and all that, and
Hmm.
I found the interaction was fine, but I don't know. I guess I kind of wanted more out of that.
I like. Did you like the villain though, Soren?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. It just did not resonate with me at
Yeah,
all.
did you like the fact that he just tells Picard that he's straight evil, and Picard's like, "What?"
I don't even remember his dialogue, man.
Yeah. Well, I like the actor. Malcolm McDowell's pretty fun, but yeah, yeah. Okay, so overall, not your favorite Star Trek movie.
No, because well, there's some stuff in there like with Data that like I felt like should have had a bigger part.
Like the emotion ship stuff.
Yeah, because I mean he gets his emotions there, and then he fails to rescue Jordy, and oh wow, Jordy does get captured.
Yeah. Yep. Geordi gets captured again. Yep. That.
Like, where's Jordy? Well, he's not here on the Enterprise, and he must be captured by the enemy ship.
Okay, so you did see that. You do know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Geordi.
think I know now.
Yeah. Geordi does get cap. Yep. The Klingons. Which I can't believe the Enterprise couldn't detect that on his visor. Like they didn't have any security protocols or what.
I don't know. I guess not. The advisors are like
Well, all right, man.
get
Well,
hacked.
they didn't get too personal. Yeah, Generations is not my favorite. But I do think that the original series overall has better movies.
Mm.
Which one did you say was your favorite, actually?
Well, I guess two, but because pretty
Oh,
obvious. Well, with that and the Spock, that stuff. But the thing is, like movie four, like by all accounts, it should not have worked.
that's why it's so great.
Because like that's like a Masters of the Universe type scenario where
Oh
you
yeah,
take
because you hate it when they go to like the planet and they're not where
yeah
they're
when they go
supposed to.
back to like
Modern Earth, 80s Earth.
yeah I just find that all the creativity and magic is sucked out of it. It's
Well,
when it,
but did you think it worked?
maybe it's the humor, maybe it's like the interaction with all the different crew members. I don't know. It
Remember,
really should not have worked. And that movie is like has like if you tell anybody that's the plot of Star Trek 4, we're gonna rescue some whales and interact with all these civilizations. There's gonna be puns everywhere, jokes. But I'm thinking, by all accounts, that sounds like a bad script.
I don't know how they pulled it off, man, but it worked. I think just Leonard Nimoy's direction helped a lot with that one too.
Like, dumbass get off the road. Well, double dumbass to you.
Double dumbass on you.
Yeah,
They are not
uh,
the hell you're whales.
I think it's time for a colorful metaphor.
Everyone uses that language in the century, you know. Ah,
Yeah,
yes, the
future.
giants. Did you
You're
like when he
welcome,
takes
future.
out the punk with
Yeah.
the neck bench? It's good stuff. Uh, my favorite movie's probably always been the sixth one.
I don't remember what six was about now.
Six was the one where they make peace with the Klingons.
Oh yeah, there we go. Because yeah, because I remember they were stuck on a prison planet for a little bit, then they escaped, and I'm trying to recall like how that got resolved.
Oh, well, they find out that there was like a conspiracy, and like there
Hmm.
were people in the Federation that didn't want the war to stop, so they kind of assassinated him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like them on the prison planet. Uh, I think I think three might actually be my least favorite, even though it does have Christopher Lloyd as the villain.
Hmm. Yeah, then I know it was him.
Yeah, man, pre Doc Brown.
Yeah. Let me see. Because with three, I had more problems with it because of of being of a transition movie.
Yeah, it's definitely. Let's get us to the next movie.
Yeah, like with Spock coming back and then Kirk losing his son so quickly.
And the Enterprise.
Yeah, the Enterprise gets blown up, and I guess I just set up for like all the Klingon stuff for six.
I think yeah, that's kind of what it was. Like if you notice, all the movies kind of have like a continuous arc, sort of
Uh-huh. Captain's log.
supplemental.
Yeah.
So have you decided, Kirk or Picard? I know you said you had the struggle.
Well, so far, like, I just feel like Picard's gonna end up winning it.
Probably.
I don't know. I just feel there's much more story potential with him because, like, the last episode I saw was the what was the name of that one? It's the one where he gets probed. He gets probed, and he's like living in this village for like his entire life.
Oh, the inner light.
Yeah, because he's living like with a wife, then with kids, and his children's kids, and
Yeah, I believe that's the episode that won an Emmy.
oh,
Yep, it's often cited as like one of the best episodes. So, all right, man. When you're done and you're caught up with next gen in the movies, are you gonna try and check out the other series?
I think I might take a break because it is like a lot.
It
I'm
is
pretty sure with original and next generation, I think that's 300 episodes maybe or close.
probably close to it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was kind of unsure like what the other series have in store.
Well, uh, y- the cool thing about it is, and I was telling Zora this last time, you can kind of like you could honestly watch any of the other ones at any time. Uh, so DS9 is they're kind of on a station, and there's a lot of interactions with different cultures on the station. The cool thing about DS9 is I think it has some of the best writing in terms of complexity, and it's like a long form story. It's not
Mm-hmm.
episodic, so there's like
Oh.
season long arcs, series long arcs, and I that DS9 is probably like my favorite from like writing standpoint from a plot, and it also has a war. Like the second half of the series is a straight war with a new enemy, and it goes into some really interesting territory there. Some of my favorite characters in there, so I recommend that one. Voyager is basically more like a standard exploration series like the other ones, but they're stuck really far in deep space away from home. They have to get
Mm-hmm.
back home to Federation space. That one's not too bad. I think it's kind of more of a mixed bag for me, but I think that there's some good episodes there. And Enterprise is a prequel, takes place before Kirk's time, so like the beginnings of the Federation. So they all have something good to offer if you're interested. Then of course you could check out the new shows on CBS All Access if you're really interested in where Trek's going
Yeah,
these
but
days.
well, then again, it's also the Orville.
I would recommend the Orville if you're enjoying the Trek you've seen thus far. That's like the purest form of Trek, honestly.
Star Trek in its purest form.
It,
Actually,
it
that's
is.
interesting.
It is.
What I'm thinking with Seth MacFarlane, like, what are you gonna do, Seth? I'm gonna try to bring Star Trek into its purest form.
I think he is. Like I'm telling you, man. I was really worried. I didn't care much about it. I'm like, oh, Seth MacFarlane, it's just gonna be a lot of bad humor, and I was not excited about it. And there is some of that in the beginning that's a little jarring, but they get past that in the second season, and I'm telling you, man, it's like it feels like you're watching just Star Trek, but like more from like a working class perspective. Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
the epitome of like the Enterprise, but it's like some other lesser ship on the fleet, more like a blue
Uh-huh.
collar crew. But it feels like Star Trek. There's some really good episodes in there. It is funny, and I really like Seth MacFarlane. I've always said this. I don't really like him that much uh, as like a comedic writer. I think I'm not the biggest Family Guy fan. I kind of got tired of
Uh-huh.
it, but like as like a dramatic actor, I think he's actually pretty good, and I really like him as a captain. He's pretty good, honestly.
Like, has he ever been part of a Star Trek list? Like, let's say they made a list of best captains. Like, is he there?
Oh yeah, yeah, I think he'd be up there. Absolutely. I think I'd put him up against some of the official Star Trek captains. Absolutely. I would. I really would.
Working his way into the canon.
Who knows? Maybe there'll be a crossover. I know a lot of people from Trek have actually appeared in the show because he's a big fan. He really
Mm.
is. So it's pretty awesome.
Like, I can't remember what it was. I think it was some sort of. I remember I saw something of behind the scenes, but I don't recall if it was for Cartoon Network or another studio. But I remember that they passed by like a young Seth MacFarlane, and on the TV he's watching Star Trek.
That's probably accurate, and I guess there were little hints there, like there were a couple little skits, and I know that the whole cast of Next Generation showed up in one of the Family Guy episodes, which is pretty funny. Um, Early Family Guy was funnier, I think, but yeah, man,
Well,
he's a big Star
like
Trek guy.
early everything is funny.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, oh, okay. Example, I don't know. You Simpsons, right? You like the
Yeah.
Simpsons, but you'd say what first like 10 seasons or so is probably best.
Well, I don't even know where it stops exactly, because I would say the same for SpongeBob.
I didn't watch a whole lot of SpongeBob, but like I do remember when I was a kid, I think those early seasons were actually pretty decent.
Oh yeah, they
Um,
were like well, by today's standards, they're meme central.
they're meme central.
Yeah, there's like a lot of because with all seriousness, I think there's people that are kind of like studying it as a kind of like an early form of meme comedy.
Maybe. I kind of underestimated. I think I dismissed SpongeBob when I was younger as just being dumb, but it's actually a lot more clever than I realized.
Well, it is. It's just that after a certain point, it just kind of gets like off the rails, and it just. Well,
Is it still going?
I think so.
Oh wow. Huh. All right, I got a question for you, Hero, before we wrap up.
Hmm.
What would you say the best modern cartoon is? Like the most recent cartoon you've seen that's like
Uh,
really, really good.
um, I don't think I have a good answer for that at all.
Well, I know you're more into like the older stuff like I am, but like did you keep up with like a lot of people told me like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, what was the other one? Gravity Falls. Like some of those were
Mhm.
really recommended.
Well, I would say the other one that's up there would probably be DuckTales.
No, the modern DuckTales.
Yeah, the modern DuckTales because they've been well, I never even seen the original DuckTales, so I can't properly explain anything.
What?
No, I never seen the original DuckTales.
Oh wow. Well, I'll be honest. I only saw a handful, but you know the show I actually watched more than DuckTales growing up.
Was it Chip and Dale?
No, I missed a lot of Chip and Dale. I actually was kind of a Tailspin fan when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I like Tailspin.
Yes.
Tailspin.
Where's Bagheera?
Oh man. Yeah, man. Well, I'm trying. Yeah, my answer would be bad too. I mean, I feel like, yeah, that's cheat because like,
Because
I,
I wouldn't know because honestly a lot of the current art style just kind of turns me off.
is it because it's too like, it's
Well,
too
it started with Adventure Time because everyone was trying to be that 'cause with the spaghetti skinny designs. Yeah, because even at one point, Lucky Charms like redesigned their mascot to look like that.
really,
Yeah, they did. And Toucan Sam, like about a week ago, got a redesign, which is sort of very cartoony.
really,
Yeah,
kind of like with softer edges and everything.
yeah, it looks more kawaii actually. Because he looks way cuter.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily, but do
Well,
you,
I don't know if it's a bad thing. It's just that I thought I was more concerned with Lucky Charms did it.
well,
But
all right, let me ask you this, Hero, as an enthusiast of like cartoons and animation, like your style of what you draw and also what you like, do you like more realistic body styles? Like I know you've always been a proponent of like the exaggerated musculature of like He-Man or Kenshiro. Do you, because I remember Thundercats and you were all like Thundercats Go, you didn't like that overly cartoony direction.
no.
Like do you think it just should certain things should kind of be better fit for that, or do you just prefer that style overall? Or
The reason I prefer like the manlier stuff is mainly because of the detail.
mm-hmm.
Because there's just more going on. Because if you look at character designs or characters' faces, well, this is more easier in anime. That a lot of their faces are kind of plain.
True.
It really comes down to uh, I guess lately with girls is about curves because I find it weird because a couple of years ago there was a time where everyone was obsessed with the moe, edgy, lolly kind of thing,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then nowadays it's like just being thick,
Thick. Well, it's an
yeah,
appreciation for
with the two C's, but
different body types, man. We're
yeah,
appreciating
different
all.
body. Yeah, because back then with the '80s, if you look at Cobra, those are like adult women designs, or it's like I guess the best way to describe a bunch of '80s character designs that it doesn't. You're not gonna find anime looking people in this show.
True. Actually,
They're
all
all
right.
like much more like realistic, while with their own creative formats.
Well, all right. I now actually that's actually kind of a good topic. I want to get your opinion on this. Okay.
Mm.
Both about the art style, but also about the show overall. It's actually thanks to you, your recommendation, because as you know, I like He-Man a lot, but I didn't really watch a lot of the original She-Ra. But I think you recommended the new one to me, the new She-Ra, and I
Yeah,
actually really like what I've seen of it so far. I know a new season came out recently. Uh, I
I think
really,
that was the last season that came out,
yeah, like
but I'm like season two behind.
yeah, I think I'm like midway through the fourth season or something, but I've really been enjoying it. I really like the show. I just watch it when it's like kind of a backup when we want to watch something else. But I think it's a colorful, fun show. It's a little more like that style kind of recently, but not too. How do you feel? Okay, how do you feel about Shira's current design? Did you have a problem with it? Because I know some
Mm,
people are like, oh man, her design is not that good. That was like a thing
well,
for a little while.
yeah, for a while it was mainly because it wasn't feminine enough, or it might also because she was younger than what people initially were expecting. Because if you look at the even though they're supposed to be in their 20s, like Shira and He-Man, they look like 30 something.
Yeah,
They look like adults, and this one obviously isn't.
true. Is that an issue for people?
I think that was the initial issue that it's just didn't look well. Personally, I also think it's a purist thing where they just want things to look like. in the case of Transformers and Pokemon, they wanted to be like Generation 1, G1, you know?
Mm.
Or like in the case of Digimon, we want the first Digimon, Digidestin. We don't want the other characters or.
So you're saying the people that grew up with these things first have like more th- say over it, or they're
Well,
less?
no, that's just their mentality. They just want things to like stay in that vintage format.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
supposedly that the He-Man anime that's coming out with Kevin Smith, that they're gonna keep their exact same designs from the
Uh,
80s.
I mean, that's cool, but I wouldn't mind if it was a little different.
Well, yeah, I know, but we'll see how the animation turns out.
Well, I have a good feeling about it. I think it's going to be really cool, man.
Well, I hope so, because I'm thinking like, because I kind of hope that kind of gets He-Man out of the hot water for a while.
Yeah, He-Man hasn't really been active outside of
No, because
meme culture.
for whatever reason, there's like so many like gay parodies like bashing He-Man,
All right.
like a
Look,
ridiculous amount. I don't
look.
know what's going on.
Well, I think most of that's in good humor. I mean, in the comics in DC, he's actually, kind of had a resurgence as a
Oh
more
yeah, I know, because
serious character.
with the Injustice comics, that was like the best He-Man portrayal we got in.
I know, like I've read some of that stuff, and that's what I've always wanted, kind of a more traditional sci-fi fantasy, a little more serious, and I think that totally is doable for He-Man. But the popular elements of the original cartoon being as campy as it is, and let's be honest, there are some effeminate overtones, but
Uh-huh.
that's part of the character. That's part of the character,
Well, it's
and
part of Filmation, personally.
well, a part of filmation. And you know what? Oh, like, okay. I don't have a problem with He-Man being gay if they went that direction. Do you think they go that direction?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah, they're gonna hook him up with Tila with something.
Okay. Okay. Well then they're still in denial. Nah, that's perfectly fine. But it's the he
But yeah, because there's a lot of stuff like that on the internet. I don't know exactly what started the boom.
I don't know. Who knows? But I think it's weird. I think He-Man, the original cartoon, has like some of the best and worst animation for the time.
Oh yeah, well, it's because of they were using a lot of it, and the thing is, Filmation never really had a budget.
But I mean, it's kind of cool. It's like they reuse a lot of the same shots, and there's not a lot of movement for a lot of stills. But then when they actually do use it, they actually do like the rotoscoping, and it's very, very realistic movement, better than a lot of other cartoons. So I'm like, it's weird. It's kind of jarring,
Yeah,
but
no, because it's like it's kind of consistent in that way, but the same. Well, I guess it helps that everything actually is pretty bright, like
yeah,
with the designs and all that. But yeah, I'm trying to recall what were we talking about before this.
I don't
Yeah, you're bringing
animation.
up modern cartoons.
Yeah, modern cartoons. Yeah.
Aside from DuckTales, because I know that one's been getting some success. Uh, I really wouldn't know, like if it was about like a serious show or action show or anything of the sort. I don't know if there is anything
Like
really, because
I mean,
I was also kind of curious, like what do kids watch? You know, because I feel like Steven Universe, that's not necessarily a kid show per se.
I think a lot of kids probably do watch it though.
Well,
Maybe.
I don't know, because well, Teen Titans Go has been dominating the station
Oh,
like a lot. So that's why I'm kind of curious, like what do kids watch? Because I found out about this show that Playmates is involved with called Power Players. It's a CGI French collaborated CGI show. Essentially, it's about this kid that sort of like Toy Story kind of thing. Like he can shrink down with his other toys, and they have like some sort of adventures like that.
huh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. So there's some idea with that going on, and I'm kind of wondering. So, is this like a sensation, or it's just it's?
I've never heard
I
of
don't
it.
know, because I mean, when I found out about it, I'm thinking, because I'm trying to remember that I even see the toys at my stores. Right. But yeah, but that is an action cartoon technically, because there's stuff like that in there. But I'm thinking, so is that the only kids action cartoon right now? Because
Like more the
I was kind
action
of like,
based.
because I know there was this something called Mao Mao on Cartoon Network, which is like some more Chinese theme.
You know,
So like I don't know how much success that has, but because if we're talking about like looking back like an action show back in the day, like I don't know, like GI Joe or something, like or Beast Wars or something like that. I haven't seen anything.
you know, I'm looking at this list here of I guess like shows that kids watch right now,
Hmm.
and I don't know like half of them. There's a couple that are like carryovers from things we liked. Like, okay, according to this random thing, I went to Time Out, our favorite TV shows for kids and families that I guess they're watching right now. They got Storybots, Search and Explore, Beat Bugs, Paw Patrol, Kippo and Age of the Wonder Beast, Peppa Pig, I've heard of,
Hmm.
Shaun of the Sheep, which is, I didn't know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a show. I saw the movie, that was good. Sophia the First. Is there a new Hey Arnold that's on?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, apparently that's like up there is like things kids are watching still. Clone Wars, Star Wars,
Yeah,
Shimmer and Shine, Sesame Street. That's not a cartoon, but SpongeBob. Okay, Phineas and Ferb.
yeah. Phineas and Ferb is Disney.
I didn't know. Is that still going?
I'm not sure. I want to say that finished. That might be just airing reruns.
Yeah, that I guess this is just what kids are watching right now to answer a question. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that I guess the new show.
That's Rise.
Blaze of Monsters Machines, Dora the Explorer, uh, The Adventures of Paddington, that bear,
Hmm.
Bubble Guppies, Where's Waldo, Vampirina, Wild Kratts, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, of course, Doc McStuffins, Peg Cat, Mr. Rogers, Arthur, Hotel Transylvania, the series,
Yeah.
uh, Tangled, the series,
Hmm.
Daniel's Tiger Neighborhood, Cyber Chase, Blues Clues, Thomas and Friends, Team Umizoomi on Nick
That
Jr.
might be familiar.
I don't know. So if according to that, I don't know half of those. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, the only one that I know that's getting like some that I'm pretty sure is gonna be like nostalgic in the next 15, 20 years is Paw Patrol.
Okay, why is that?
It's a bunch of basically it's a bunch of animals or like cops and a bunch of other things.
Oh, really? They're like,
Yeah,
okay.
they're just like they're not even anthropomorphic dogs. They're just like regular looking cartoon characters.
Huh. Okay.
More like I don't know like what age demographic, but it's like young children.
Hmm.
But it's been kind of popular with that early childhoods, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna become like this nostalgic thing, like the same way we had like reading Rainbow and uh, Magic School Bus, that type of stuff.
Gotcha. All right. Cool.
But yeah, in terms of like an action show, I don't know if there's any going on over here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking of one, but I realized that was a total cheat. That's like wrong on so many levels. So that just shows how out of the loop I am. I was gonna say because I've been rewatching it for a request. I'm watching Samurai Jack, and I was thinking, oh man, that's great. But
Oh yeah,
like
well
that,
that's 2000s.
I know that's like 20 years ago. And also, I was like, well, I could say the new season, but that is not a kids cartoon,
No,
so
not anymore.
not anymore. I'm like, yeah, that was so I don't know. But I mean, as a modern cartoon, I guess season 5 of Jack is pretty great, but not
Well, yeah,
really
because
for
I was
kids.
gonna say Primal when you asked me the question, but at the same time, like I don't know if it's like
A kids cartoon.
well,
I'm sure kids watched it. I mean, we watched stuff on Adult Swim, I'm sure, when we were younger. I
oh yeah,
mean,
I know, but like, cause the only stuff that's been popping out has been like Adult Swim, like with Ball Masters, or well, actually, everything's been more adult cartoons than anything else.
yeah, yeah, that's becoming popular, thankfully, that they're expanding a little more. All right, Hero. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up soon. But before we do, are there any topics you'd like to discuss we didn't yet? Anything that's on your mind that's like this burning desire to get it out? We haven't covered
Uh,
anything.
I'm drawing a blank.
Drawing a blank.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't know, because I mean, we kind of talked about like whatever concerns I had, because earlier when I was talking about the lack of anime or stuff that I like. I just kind of feel that maybe it's the same for cartoons. There isn't just that action oriented material that I'm searching for, or in my
Well,
case, what I want is something more masculine.
well, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I'm kind of in the boat where, like, with a lot of new stuff. I mean, I'm not really super interested in a lot of anime that's out right now, and
Mm.
there's just a lot of classic stuff I want to either watch that I've never seen or I want to rewatch. So there's probably a
Well,
backlog of old anime you probably could check out again if you feel like it. Like I remember you mostly been into the classics anyway.
yeah, no, because there is still like a big list of old shows that I haven't seen. Because there's like stuff like Great Teacher Onizuka,
Oh, nice.
Esprayed.
Oh, nice.
What was that? Just a big list. I'm trying to recall the worst.
Oh
There's
yeah.
some 70s shows like Karate Master that no one has really watched.
Huh. Okay. Well,
Or there's shows that I want to see, but no one has it available. Like the original Tiger Mask, no one has it.
huh. Oh, I did want to let you know. I did go to I did find some Common Writer that you recommend. I watched the first couple episodes of that.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
really like
so
it.
like, yeah, the first villain was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, I liked Scorpion. Who else was it? There was another guy. Crap. So there's shoot. I should know what the third guy was. But yeah, they're all I like it. I really like it. It's really wacky. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the early stuff, Tokusatsu is like pretty out there.
It's cool. It's really weird. I'm like, I like it though. It's easy to get into. Come in,
Yeah,
rider,
yeah, yeah.
rider,
Yeah, you
rider.
need to watch that sparingly.
Yeah, I'm like, I watched a couple episodes and I'm like, I might come back to this again. I'm actually curious to check out some of that old Sentai stuff that Morphin was based off of and stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'd like to check. I probably could check that out sparingly. What else? Let me see. I got a bunch of requests that I'm gonna do. You'll probably see popping up. Um, I feel like you probably suspect a lot of the Joe Loves Movies segments that'll be coming out are probably some things you've heard of or talked about with me at some point. Any particular ones you'd be interested to see? Any requests from Hero? Because I feel like lately that's all I've been doing is I've got about like 4 or 5 requests for random things. Like that's why I'm watching Samurai Jack, and I also apparently am going to check out Castlevania because I didn't watch that anime yet at all, so
Hmm.
got a request for that.
Well, I guess that was the last. Well, it's not a cartoon again either, but well,
It is,
it is kind of isn't. But
Well, look, cartoon, whatever. It's animation, whatever.
yeah, well, the point is, I feel like there just isn't that kid accessibility
Well,
going on.
actually, did you see the Voltron show?
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't even seen the original Voltron. So,
Yeah, I've seen sporadic pieces. I actually wanted to check out Robotech, but that's another beast. Like, there's,
oh yeah, especially you want to take the like you wanted to watch it in English or the actual Japanese Macross.
I don't know if I told you, I did actually watch Macross Plus, like that little OVA series or whatever. I
Mhm.
like that one. That was pretty good. A while back.
I don't know because even like the manly stuff like that's coming out like with Baki and Kengan Asura, I just kind of want. Actually, I haven't even finished Vinland Saga.
Oh, like the manga?
Oh, the anime because I was starting to watch it, but
Oh, nice, nice. You like Vinland
uh,
Saga so far?
I only seen one episode, but it seemed the most like a pretty good, interesting start with the escaped slave.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, yeah. I've actually, it's like the one manga I've been reading consistently. It's good stuff, man. I really like Vinland Saga. I haven't watched the anime yet, but I've heard it's very good.
Mm. Yeah, I just feel like I'm waiting because I've been wanting like a Kongo Bancho anime, a Fist and
Kongo
Star
Bancho.
reboot, or like Otokojuku to come back or something. I just want like something like that to just appear.
Give it time. I remember you had a lot of Devilman content for a while. You kind of explored that stuff. Is there any more Devilman stuff in the works, or not really?
Well, I have to because there's the because since a lot more Devilman's been accessible now compared to back then, I have to make like a anthology thing explaining like each Devilman's, like how many Devilman shows are there and all that.
Yeah, please.
Because it's been expanding a lot.
It's a good thing.
Because the stuff that I feel like I need to work on is to fix that Lupin video that got taken down or that I removed. Like
Um.
just compile it into one video and then last week I was trying to write a retrospective for the Fist and North Star '80s anime.
Uh huh.
and I just don't know how to wrap it up.
Huh. So, all right, you've got that. So, I guess in the next like couple months, what would you say you'd say the direction of your channel is kind of going? Because clearly you've got some anime content you're thinking about doing videos for, but like, do you have a clear one, or are you just kind of like doing whatever
I
right
wrote
now?
down like a bunch of ideas of what I could do, and there's a lot of options. Because with Fist of North Star, I wanted to talk about like the censorship, basically like a list of things that were changed from the anime from manga. Because there's a couple things, and then talk about the censorship of the movie, like explaining like some of the stuff that's going on there, such as the intestines,
Oh yeah.
brain matter, like like really look at that and thinking like, well, maybe that's why that got censored.
Have you ever been able to find a version of the original film that is unedited?
Not completely, no.
Oh, because I noticed
But,
they kept a lot of it in the main version I've seen, but they changed the color and they do all kinds of weird stuff during those scenes.
yeah, from what I can tell, it's actually all about the gore, not necessarily uh anything else. It's cause it has to do with the body parts. Because whenever like an eyeball flies off, it's blurred. You see someone's like guts come out, it's blurred. If you see some brain matter or exposed brain, that's blurred.
Oh, well, that sounds about right. Though I feel like the fact that they allowed a lot of it at all is kind of impressive. Can you imagine if they tried to do that thing they did with the anime a lot early on, where they they tried to make it like a Saturday morning version? How much of that would have been just chopped down and completely changed?
So that's what I was actually kind of wondering, like if the '80s anime ever came to America, like alongside Robotech and Voltron, like would
Oh,
how edited would it be?
it would have to be super edited.
Yeah, because
He's okay.
well, then again, if Dragon Ball Z managed to air like for so long with those
Yeah,
edits,
but that was the 90s though.
well, yeah, but
You know,
maybe
to
if
be
it's
honest with
Nostra
you,
Reloaded.
like DBZ getting like to be as successful as it was and as popular with all the edits it had, like, oh man, the transport ships, like we just didn't question it. Oh, it's
Well,
okay. I could see his parachute.
I didn't. Well, the thing is, I didn't grow up with the English version, so
Oh, that's right. You didn't get the ocean
no, I
dub,
didn't get any of that censored stuff.
but that stuff is classic though. It's classic.
I totally missed the boat on that
Oh
because
man, that's the stuff I grew up with. That was my first exposure, and it still worked. Like the pure best things about it, I guess, still came through because that's the awesomeness of Dragon Ball, I guess. But man, that early Canadian dub is some cheese, man, some straight cheese.
I heard also one about like like the buildings were empty because it was a Sunday or something like that. I don't know how the
Oh, you
line
thought it
goes,
was a
like
really powerful blast. Too bad it's a Sunday.
oh
Like, oh, that's such bull.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what if Mr. Nostra had like dub lines like that?
Oh
Like his head
man.
didn't explode. It's like well, then again, the whole Shadow Realm thing. That's a poor kid's
Yeah.
invention.
Yeah, the Shadow Realm. Yeah. Oh shoot. That's good stuff. All right, Hero. Well, we're gonna do some. I'm planning to try and go through and see if I can get some other of our old friends here on some podcasts, and hopefully we're gonna do a couple on the Phantom Group channel. Try and get some content over there. So we're gonna try and do some group ones, and maybe we'll get a RoboCop watch along thing. We're gonna try and make that work. So
Hmm.
that's something we're planning to do on the Phantom Group channel. We're gonna do a RoboCop sort of watch along commentary. So I guess the
Yeah,
idea Ed and I were talking over, like, I don't know, we'll all kind of sit back and watch it, and if you want to watch that video at the same length with RoboCop, you can have the Phantom Group commentary with that. And we could finally. Did we ever actually do a RoboCop
no,
call? We never did.
no,
We
we
never
never did.
actually did a RoboCop call.
We
Okay.
never did.
All right. Well, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do a RoboCop call, and maybe with it'll be perfect to actually just watch the movie and talk about it as we do it. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna end that here, but thank you for joining me, Hero, and hope to have you on again sometime, man.
Hmm.
All right, everybody.
Sorry, I just like just like giving out.
No, it's okay. Stay magical.